we're going to talk about this item right here. Good everyone, it's Calvin here, Coaching Company in New Zealand. I'm going to talk about my starter cable that I make up, and I sit down in the garage and I make up a heap of these and we use them ourselves. But I need the people who are using them to understand that they are a universal type item that needs a couple of mods or needs to be adapted to suit your application. I'm basically going to put forward that, hey, I've got this product. If it works for you, then buy it. If it doesn't work, then don't buy it. If you're getting a loom made for me and you can give me the exact measurements of the cable that you need, the exact lengths, then I can make an earth cable and the power feed to the starter motor that you require. But for most people, this item is going to do the job beautifully, okay? And I've also got the same thing, at your ear, for the alternators. Well, I'm going to put that in a separate video, not to confuse this one, okay? But just be aware that I also do an alternator type version. All right, in front of me I do have a loom that's going to Australia for a Land Cruiser, and I did ask, hey, have you got an alternator loom? He said, yep, he thinks he's got one of those. But you do, and he showed me he needed a solution, and I'm offering a solution for the starter motor cable that runs from the main starter power feed up to the battery. Okay. This is the solution that I offer. So it comes like this. That is one that's packaged ready to go. It has a fiberglass covering that is fireproof and heat proof, and over here we have a bag. It's got 3 additional crimps and it's got a piece of red heat shrink. Okay, same as this one. That one's a little bit different because it's got an earth cable. I don't normally supply an earth cable. The idea is that this is long enough that you'll end up cutting some off it, and so you'll have a power feed, and the additional piece is the earth cable, and that's why part of it isn't covered in the heat proof, so that will be the earth cable. And yes, there's a rubber booty right there that can go over when you put that onto the starter motor. That's a 8mm hole, and you put the rubber booty over so you don't get shorting out, hopefully, by doing that. That's onto the starter end, and then the other end, of course, goes up to the battery. And the other ones, the lugs that are supplied, also have that 8mm hole. Piece of red heat shrink for where it goes up onto the battery. Okay. Right, how long is it? Right, it goes from here, and it goes to the other side of the mat. I'm using a imperial measure for the American guys. I've got some bananas in the kitchens if you want some bananas, but I would say that is 2 meters long. So I always make them at least 2 meters long. This one actually happens to be 2 meters and 50 millimeters, but 2 meters long. I normally expect them to be cut off about here, but if you can go into that covering, the covering isn't actually secured with any zip tie, so you can move it on and off, but it gives you the parts made to, or supplied to, make up the cable and finish off the job. Basically, I would measure it up, I would cut it appropriately, crimp there, crimp there, crimp there, red heat shrink there. This end becomes my earth, that end becomes the battery supply cable. Okay, the power supply from the battery to the to the starter motor. Secure it on the engine, and job is done. Okay, if that suits you, let me know. If I'm doing a loom, if you do want me to cut it off and give you to the exact measurements, you need to give me the exact measurements, okay? And I can do that. And otherwise, we supply it like that. Easy. Okay. The loom you've seen on the floor is, as I said, going to Australia for the Link ECU I do Haltech looms. I do lots of other looms as well, custom made to the customer requirements. I've also got a few universal type looms in stock, left hand and right hand, and I'm trying to keep them in stock because it gives you a really easy solution, and I'm selling you parts that we use ourselves. Talk to you soon. Catch you later.